All right. Get back to Zoom. Welcome. Today, uh, completing our $100,000 project. Whose project did you come to celebrate? I hope it was yours. Which project did you bring to complete? I hope it was yours. What does it mean if it was mine? Because my celebration is a 10 billion to 1 trillion in 24 hours. In 1 hour. It took me listening. I had to listen. I couldn't listen. And then when I saw it, it was there it is. That's why I needed good help. People around me that said yes. And when they said no, I listened. I didn't hear that. This is what my truth, this is what I see. This is where I come from. Yes. Good. And so today is like focusing in on nothing, everything, and that amazing something. That one thing we choose to focus on. So here comes my team. Hi, team. Unless you were gonna look at your, are you gonna let me see you? Do you want me to see you?
Sure.
I don't have to. You don't have to. You can stay there.
Okay.
I didn't know what you were going to do. So
Okay.
I don't know how this focus. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
All right. What's your charge coming in?
What's my charge coming in? Open. And yours?
Something.
Something. Hmm. Sunshine is good.
Are you seeing sunshine?
I am. I'm so happy in the winter when I see sunshine. Toronto's not usually that bad for sunshine.
Yeah. Do you hear me okay? Is it like normal? Is it better? Is it worse? I'm doing a new headset right now.
There's a slight bit of an echo, but with me, Jesse, sometimes it's got to do with my Wi-Fi as well.
Good. Let's see if it is. Thank you. How are we now?
Oh, that's better.
Oh, good. Well, I hate those then. I prefer these. They just they don't last as long as my other pair. So that was my only disappointment. I really loved them, and as soon as I bought them, my partner who introduced me to them said, "Oh, they said this and this about them," and I went, "Oh, I think I'm experimenting with that pair." So what a great week, being Friday Mastery here. My word, something. Yay. Number 2. Actually, it's 0112.
011.
Hi,
2.
beautiful people. I'm
Hello.
driving.
Good, good. Be safe, please.
Hi, Jenny.
What's your charge?
Oh, I charge about $5,000 an hour for my time.
Yeah.
Good
And
one.
I'm worth every penny of it.
Uh-huh. Wonderful. How's that $100,000 project going?
It's coming along.
Yeah,
It's
good. Can
in
you
creation.
complete it?
It can be completed today. No.
Ooh, limitation. Bing, bing, bing,
Oh.
bing, 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 bing.
Okay, there's a charge there. Got it.
I knew you'd get it. Right? I knew you'd love you. But you keep driving. I'll let your blinker go. Hi, Pascal.
Hi, how are you guys?
Oh, man, I'm not very good
Hi,
today.
Pascal.
Not very good today.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's great. I am a good catch, though.
I was like, what changed?
Welcome. Pascal, how's your charge?
My charge? I don't have any charge.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm
Till
laughing.
someone pushes a button, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right now I don't have any charge.
So my word is something. So whose project are you here celebrating?
I'll celebrate. I'll celebrate mine. I feel like celebrating today.
I celebrate my first service on my new car for free. I'm paying for it every month, but the service was free.
So which one would you have completed then? And then are you going to keep that one or are you going to make room for a new one?
This is a new car. As of July of 2022. It's the last new car I got was 25 years ago when I was a single mom. So it's a big deal to get a new car for me. It almost came
Definitely
with a
something.
free
It's
divorce.
something, isn't it? Isn't it something?
It's something's better than nothing. And at the time, I had nothing to drive.
Ah, wow. Oh, there's something else in our structure then.
Well, I could have rented a car, but I chose to Uber to a dealer and buy one that day. And it was the
Yeah,
right
look
decision.
at the space you had to do that. Look at the maneuvers that you were able to do and how you were able to create what you wanted. Wow, amazing.
Oh, but the tension was palpable, guttural, almost made me sick.
Why?
Like I literally felt it in my gut because I hadn't done that for 25 years and everything changed. It was like, you don't negotiate on the price. It's like there's 3 on the lot. They're in high demand. You want gray, black, or blue. And there's really no negotiating on price. A little bit, but it was like do you, it isn't, it's not the same way now. I mean, they literally want to buy my car used now because they're low on used car inventory. It's like, I've only had it since July. No, you can't have my car.
That could be $100,000 project, huh?
Oh, to sell a car? Or the dealership? The dealership. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, you might not be able to negotiate on the price of the car, but you can negotiate on the price they're going to give you on your car.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then if I could do that, what would I do? Probably going to need 4 cars is what it sounds like. So that might not be a good strategy.
Or I could say, there's some structure here that would help your organization be more successful. Let's
so you
talk
could sell
about
more
that.
cars. Oh, now you're really driving a whole lot more cars, aren't you?
Or you could
Selling
sell
them or whatever
loyalty.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Customer experience. Drives
That's got to be
loyalty.
worth something, isn't it?
Yes.
Wonderful. There are many others. Who came here to complete a $100,000 project? Welcome. My word is something today. I invite you to bring your charge. See in the silence, we can see the truth of the moment of now. There's always something.
And there's always more when you're open.
You got to get here first, though, huh?
You do.
Definitely a skill.
I'm celebrating losing 4 pounds.
Yeah, that's worth $100,000 right there.
Can I invite you to choose a different word, release it because you don't want to find it again?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just released 4 pounds.
Oh, there's no difference in that. Yikes, that's worth 100,000 right there.
Congratulations. I hope it never finds you again.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Wow, look at that knowledge transfer in an instant. That is energy. That is language. That is telling someone what they need to hear.
So I was reading while I was waiting for my car, I was reading Fritz Structure and reminding myself of what a beautiful concept that is.
What a
And
beautiful
how we are-
concept. What is, Jenny?
Structure, understanding structure.
Oh.
So, going back to weight loss, you can do an oscillating structure, yo-yo diet, or you can choose to create a healthy body, the body you love, by taking aligned action with that end result. And then you're never in a problem-solving structure. You're in a creative structure, and you just continue to take the action. And sometimes you take an action that's not aligned and you notice it and you forgive yourself and you keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than seeing as falling off the wagon, see it as an experiment.
You can
Knowledge.
do that, especially when you,
Go ahead.
sorry, you can do that,
Discussion.
especially when you have conscious awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you keep your awareness going.
Yes. Awareness is big too, and choice.
Oh, yeah.
See, I like cars. So I explain structure with cars.
Hmm.
So for example, with
Nice.
you, Jenny, if like your goal was to get a new car, but you keep fixing your old one. So at the end, you might be happy with, oh, okay, like it's running better and stuff, but is it a new car? It's not. So it's really like, if that's what you want, because for me, like I'm in that same boat, but I don't think I want a new car. I really don't.
Great.
But I
That was
don't
an
want
easy
to.
decision. Now
Yeah,
you don't have to give it any more thought.
exactly.
Oh, what kind, do I need a car, or like, is it time for another? And it's like, maybe it's now or maybe not. Sometimes you get like, now is not the right time. Oh, great. I don't have to put energy into that any longer.
Yeah.
And the word new could be new to you versus new off the lot.
Mhm.
There's different ways of seeing new.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always
Exactly.
something. It's always
Mhm.
something that you can always change.
Yeah. But do I want to keep fixing mine? When it's approaching like what, 260,000 kilometers,
You
or
sound like my husband.
I'm ready for
Or
a new
mine.
one.
Mine too. Mine too. Same conversation, Pascal.
Yeah.
We got to get a new green car.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They always make me laugh, those electric cars, because how do you charge the battery? What fuel is used to charge it? It's not solar.
You don't.
During the day, it would. If you charged your car during the day, solar would charge it. During the day, if they have it over their parking structures, yes, solar would run it, and that would be amazing. Yeah, but it's when it draws at night, when it draws on the power grid, they burn natural gas at night in place of the solar and the wind. And that is the worst thing. That is the worst thing for the natural gas. Those things need to be running all the time. So every day they turn them off and then turn them back up. And that is so hard on the maintenance of them. They're designed to run 24/7, 7 days a week, all the time. That is where you're most efficient. It takes hours for these to ramp up, get to temperature, to get to efficiencies, and then you're shutting them down.
Kind of like your
Do you
air
see
conditioning, right?
exactly? And so do you see how our push for this can be in bad places? So we just need to be smart about it.
Mm.
So, and here's not the time to have that conversation, but is to see the structures that feed us truth and see the structures that feed us false.
So I had an interesting question that popped up in a dialogue with a loved one about what we're perceiving. Many of us conclude that it's fact, but what our senses tell us, we know knowledge-wise that it isn't. But we conclude things as if it's fact, and we draw these conclusions and we make assumptions to the exclusion of other possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Something does that. Like when you focus on something that does that, it removes everything else.
Say that again, JC, please. Sorry.
as soon as you focus on something, it removes everything else,
Oh, yeah,
even though it's all there.
yeah,
And nothing is still there. Everything is still there. It's all a cloud of possibilities until it becomes something observed.
Yeah.
And then not, right? Together, breakthrough, scatter.
Yeah.
And we can stay together for a long time. We call those habits. Patterns. And not all of them are useful.
yes. Yeah,
Oh, and not of them do you hear, and then all of a sudden within 60 minutes, do I go from a $10 billion conversations to, no, that's a $1 trillion idea there. Huh, I missed that one. Huh, I wasn't listening. I was putting I was granting someone way too much authority. I was granting it in the wrong way. Ah, I wasn't listening. Oh, that's cool.
Mm.
Readjust. It's still in line. It's like I didn't realize I would have to challenge my own border. I didn't know I'd have to challenge my own boundary as quick as I had to.
Mm.
Hmm.
So there we go back to keeping your awareness about being open, perhaps.
Mhm. No, it's like, oh, I think I got this, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, whoa, I found out a little bit deeper is that they don't have that, but this guy does. Ah, let's go there.
Yeah.
That confirms that confirms our suspicions. I still say yes to you, but my focus is not to where it was. And doing that shifted it completely bigger.
Because there are more possibilities.
Mhm. That's what we do with $100,000 project, right? You say, oh, I brought it in, I complete it. It's like, do I want to pick it up again?
Mm.
Did you hit it? Were you satisfied with it? No, I didn't. I didn't make it. Fine. I'm not there yet, right? I don't see it. It's not my bank account. It's like, well, you can create it. Like you can keep selling that car if you want. Keep fixing that car if you want. Or figure out how to get 4 of them.
But you can only drive one car at a time.
Right. So the other ones, like 4 wouldn't make sense then.
Hmm.
And so whatever genius somebody comes up with, I don't care. Just that they chose and choose, and they always will.
So the point you're driving at is cars are a metaphor.
I mean, with the intention, of course. And the other one is like, oh, we get so attached to our project. It's like, it's really good to just end it. Be like, oh, we're done with that. And it's like, oh, what would I pick up a new one today to do? Like, what new would I pick up? And it's like, oh, now it's how I experiment with what I want. Oh, those 4 pounds are gone, or they went somewhere, or they transformed into something. It's like, now what do? Oh, let's go get 4 more. Cool. Celebrate Kevin. Kevin celebrated more than 100, I mean, it was 4 at a time.
That's amazing.
I got to buy new pants, and a new belt. And it's like, oh yeah, I hear your scarcity too, man. It's like, yeah. And it's like, well, I can't let go of these. What if I go back? I don't know. It's like, oh, I'm not going back, but what about? I make up in my head. That's what he's saying. I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but he gives great gratitude and he is standing in his power and he is making great moves. He's doing amazing and he's grateful as hell.
That's such a good place to be. It's a really good place to be. Because that's when you can feel that you are a powerful creator. And you also know what your foundation has been. And by knowing what your foundation has been, you can always see it, you can always go back to it when you need to.
Foundation, structure, patterns, awareness. Of course, it always starts with awareness. What the hell do I need to be aware of? Something. I don't know. Exactly. It's a good place to start, just as good as any. So I completed. I was holding that every one of us would complete $100,000 project. Celebrate we did. And now we're free to choose a new one. Or the same one. Point is you got one you're aimed at. You grabbing onto one. I don't care which one it is. So how's your charge now? Whose project are you celebrating? What new project are you celebrating? What project are you completing? Choosing new? What lesson? It's time for me to hear from you.
I have a mixture of continuing with one with more certainty and then enjoying the possibilities of thinking about the others, and having one project that I've got such mixed feelings about on a daily basis. So it's interesting and boring as anything.
Thank you for your charge.
So in terms of structure, what is that when you have got things that you really love doing and then others that you really don't enjoy doing, but the way that you see it is that if you don't get the ones that you don't enjoy doing, if you don't do that, then the others are on unstable ground. That was good to formulate that for myself.
It is always the shortcut.
And what's the shortcut, Daisy?
When you put it in your own words.
Yeah, okay. And that was a good reframe for me.
Yep.
You're seeing the value of it in a different way.
Cheers.
That's very useful, actually.
Yep. Thanks for stepping up.
I got a charge. Found one. Well, I kind of release it now, but so this morning I told my wife, I was like, I want to paint the last room, because her mother-in-law is coming to help with the baby. So I was like, well, I need to paint that one. She wanted me to paint the bathroom, but I was like, well, I can't paint that any times, but because that's going to be the mother-in-law room, so I need to paint it before she comes, unless it's not going to get painted for another probably year. And so I said, can you help me to move the furniture so I can paint today? And she was like, no, I don't have time right now. I got to get ready. And right away, I kind of was like, okay, so when do you have time? And she was like, Sunday. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it Sunday. But it was just really easy for me to say, okay, yeah, no worries. I'll just have a me time today and then me time tomorrow. And then and then Sunday we can do that. So I got distracted, right? So I went for a walk with the dogs and stuff, and I came back and I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I don't need her, to move the furniture. It's just an excuse that be like, oh, yeah, I didn't do anything, honey, because, you said you can't help me today. Right? But here I come right now, and then I moved pretty much all the furniture by myself, and I knew I was able to do it. I just want to find excuses, right? But
Pascal, I don't know if you can see Jesse right now, but it is a wonderful picture. He's having a great time laughing.
Anybody can relate to that? So yeah. So, but you know what? The way I was able to.
You're like my wife, though. You're the one that surprises me with this crap, and it's like, what are you talking about? What do you know?
Yeah.
And Jenny is saying, go, Pascal, you did it all yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? If I wouldn't take action, I would have just, just let it be, right? Because there was nothing wrong to just have a me time today and then me time tomorrow, but nothing would get accomplished. And my goal is to get that room ready, because you don't know, maybe tomorrow, my wife will deliver the baby. We don't know that, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I gotta do it sooner than later. So do I really, really want to do it? No. But
hell no. I'd take me time anytime.
I know. Those are fun times.
The problem is, though, you still got to paint that thing.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the end result. It's I can either paint it or not, and then I can flip the story to be like, oh, it's for her. I'm giving it, and it's for me too. And it's what a gift I can have. I can give. Whether or not they care, it doesn't matter. But that's how I can orient to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
no me time. Makes it fun. My me. Yeah.
Yeah. You enjoy it a whole lot more than I do.
Well, the thing, you can make it enjoyable, right? You can listen to your favorite podcast. You can,
Exactly.
because you can be like so angry about it, but at the end of the day, you still have to do it. So why do you have to be angry about it, right? So yeah, that was my charge. And I know I release charge very quickly, because I'd be like, yeah, oh, no problem. I don't need to do that. Yeah. Yeah, a little pattern of mine, I guess, right? But it's nice to recognize it and then break it.
Very nice. And thank you for sharing it. Helped me even more with my boring project.
There's no boring project. Come on.
It's just boring me.
Just like you don't have a charge, Pascal.
Yeah, I know. I know. I was just like, yeah. Yeah. But another thing, like, a friend of mine, like, he bugged me again with one of these networking companies and stuff. And I had to be clear with him. I'm like, he was like, oh, you should listen to this guy, this podcast and stuff. And I'm open for it, right? Like, as long as it's good information. And but at the end of the day, I was like, it's not making my soul dance. So, like, you can like sign me in, but I won't do anything. I know myself, like, I'm not gonna do anything with this. So it was like, yeah, well, and
Which is what most people do anyway, without the choice.
right. But at least I'm clear on that like, I don't need to focus any energy on that. Because like, if you sign and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna bug a few friends and this and that, and then I'm like, no, this is energy lost, so I'm more focused with that. So
I think
So those false structures won't last very long then.
no, it's definitely not a true goal. Right. And he even told me, that's the thing. I was like, yeah, it's not something that make me excited about. And he was like, well, I kind of feel the same. And he's been in business for 6 years with this business, and nothing really happened. And I'm like, you think in the next 5 years it's gonna be like boom? It might, but if you don't have any passion behind it, then I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes you have to be honest with people. The truth hurt, but it might make them move in different direction, and that's what I'm about, right? Like, I'll tell you right in your face if you're not going the right direction. Like, I don't care anymore. It's just like, I want you to succeed. So
that's real caring.
yeah.
And that's nice, as Nikki would say, nice. Nothing inside you cares enough.
Yeah.
I call it rainbows and unicorns. I haven't had to talk about them in a while.
You don't see them in your dream?
I think most of them left.
Did you notice the cliche you used, Pascal?
Did you see them in your dream?
No, you said the truth hurts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to see the truth.
But is that statement true?
It shouldn't.
Always.
It shouldn't hurt.
There's another saying that goes like this: the truth will set you free.
Mm-hmm. If you want to see the truth,
Which outcome do you want? Which end result do you want?
I want to see the truth.
Which do you want, Craig?
I want the free one.
Good. Celebrate that.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I said I celebrate that.
Yeah, so do I. I celebrate the choice.
Great.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right. Yeah. Something is a choice. Can be.
And yeah, the question is, why the truth hurt?
Well, what do
If
you
it-
think?
If it sets you free, why does it hurt?
Maybe it just hurts initially, but in the long run, it doesn't, right? There's always that possibility.
I think for me, it's because it hurts your ego.
Sure.
And you don't want to let the ego die.
You ever
Yeah.
been punished for telling the truth? I know I have.
Does it stop you from telling the truth?
Well, it was an experienced end result.
So I had a nice example of what you guys are talking about from yesterday. I had a young woman who's about to turn 40. She's been in a relationship since she was 34. And her partner ended the relationship, and she was literally feeling paralyzed. She couldn't move herself all day. So when the call started, she was in tears. And I let that be. And then after about, I'd say about 6 or 7 minutes of her trying to talk, I said to her, I said, you don't have to talk right now. I want you just to think about what you think your ideal partner would look like in terms of how they feel to you. Think about all the things that you would want in an ideal partner. I gave her a minute or two, and then I said to her, is this man your ideal partner? And without any hesitation, she could say no. And for me, that was, I mean, I was on the phone with her, so I wasn't online. So I jumped off the couch and I started doing a quiet little yes, 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 yes. But I think if I had pounced that on her right from the beginning, hadn't given space for her ego to be validated, her unconscious body to be validated, because she'd invested in this relationship for 6 years. And not only that, it's the timing in one's life, right? This wasn't from when she was 20 till when she was 26. This is from when she's 36 to 40. So that's why the truth can hurt and why it can set you free. I don't know that I've often experienced those two things in such a short space of time. So I know that this young woman is going to do just fine. She's going to rock the rest of her life.
And you could chase her down and say, keep paying me money.
I don't think she's going to need to.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Allison, you facilitated a space for her to find her truth.
You know, Craig, she had never met me. She knew I was somebody else's therapist, and that's how the referral came about. She'd never met me. So did I really, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not trying to, I'm just saying, I was amazed at her capacity to be that, to go that deep, right, into her distress.
Yeah.
To be that deep in her distress, and in that to find her power. Just by those two questions. Or one question. Yeah, Jenny says she had to be receptive. Exactly. And so when you go into a place with trust, for that was the learning for me. When you go into a place with trust, because you at a level, you don't even realize it, but you trust yourself. And that's what she was demonstrating. And she'd been sitting literally for 24 hours. She hadn't slept. She had not been able to move. When I checked in with her yesterday morning, she was packing her bags to go on her vacation. That was planned.
Thank you.
Yeah, just that question of asking someone, what do you want? Or what do you care about?
Yeah.
What could be possible in your life?
Exactly.
Like, the majority of people don't ask this question to themselves.
Yeah, most people don't know, right?
And we go with life and then we just we just think it's normal to work this job that we hate and drive this car that breaks down and this house that we keep fixing it, and because we're not clear on our goals.
Yes.
But yeah, I want to congratulate you just to help this lady. Because you could have been like, oh, poor you, your husband or your boyfriend left you after that many years. Oh, I feel so bad for you. And what would have you done? Do you think you would have helped her by doing that?
I think if I'd stayed in that place, it would have been damaging. But I think if I hadn't given some of that, right?
Yeah.
So it's about recognizing where you give the space for the pain.
Yeah, I
And
think it's
when-
important to feel the feeling of,
Yeah.
you know, a death or like a broke up or anything like that. But it's just, you just don't want to stay there, like you said, right?
Yeah. So it's that dance that you do again, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I find it amazing that the space you gave her didn't even go there.
It didn't even go away.
Well,
Sorry.
it didn't go into that. It didn't go into that regret space.
Well, when you validate, I think I didn't go into the regret, but I certainly did go into the pain of it for her and with her. And regret is different to pain for me.
I mean, you assume that it's in the unpacking. Otherwise, why would it matter? So whatever in the silence, she was able to do whatever she needed to do, and it doesn't matter what she does. She was probably grieving. She was letting go. We can't say what letting go looks like for people.
No.
All we can do is hear at the end, and it's like, oh yeah, she let go of that shit. Sounds great. It's like, wow, I wouldn't have expected that, because Allison, you said I've never seen anyone respond so quickly. So it's like when we're trying to compare it to something else that normally happens, it's like, no. So fast when she gave room for them to explore themselves, and she said we felt trust, we were vulnerable, and then she allowed herself to see other possibilities, and she said she imagined for the first time the perfect relationship, and then Allison added the contrast and said, is it this man? And she said no, her choice was made. Now she knows who her man is. She will keep feeding that and be looking for it unconsciously. That was the shift you made. You may hear from her again, you may not. Live with it.
Yeah, no, I know we'll hear from her again, but you know, she's not going to need much at all. There was a similar thing last year with a guy that was in an affair with a woman that he worked with, and she was married. He's not married. Did the same thing. What's your ideal relationship? And you could see, I was on video with him, so I could see him, and I had seen him quite a few times. He's in my social circle, and he'd mentioned that he was, you know, struggling, and I said, you want to spend an hour with me and we focus just on that and see what we can do? He said, sure. So made him think about what is it that he really wants. And as he started talking about it, I could see, I mean, his whole face changed. It was really interesting. And then I said to him, and where are you now? Didn't have to say much more.
Well, what did you say was structure?
Yeah.
What do you want? Where are you now? The 2 points. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, we're used to it because of the training in it, that the new education that we got, right? To think like that. And we've had time to practice our own lives in that way. And it was really nice for me to see somebody that had never been introduced to these concepts before. And even when I did it with the coach, remember, Jessie, I told you about her, right? She's really skilled. She's done all sorts of things. She's done recodes with Colette. And when I had her live into her end result, it shifted so much for her. That was her big shift.
Yeah, for me, that's because we've been trained all our lives to pursue what we think we want. And we never really discover what we really want.
And we don't know also that.
Well, here, let me give you an example of what could happen, right? So there was a child that would multiple personality, and they could measure which side of the brain was running him, basically his personality.
Yeah.
And so they would ask him questions, right? And so they asked the one side, I don't know, the left side, the logical, like, what would you like to be? And he said, I'd like to be an engineer. Something like this. Don't hold me to it. But it's like, okay, engineering. And then they asked the other side, what would you like to do when you grow up? He says, a race car driver.
Yeah.
And they looked at the two answers and said, they're none the same. And as it never is. It's a blend of the two.
Yeah.
See, they're looking for what his passion is, and it's like, it makes no sense out of these two. And it's like, yeah, they're two different actions. They have to be together because you can't separate them. It hasn't been created yet. It still needs to be experienced. So he could be a race car engineer.
Yeah. Or some synthesis of both, right?
Or a missile engine, and like, who knows, right? Who cares? Again, Allison, it's like, to the point, it's like we gauge and matter when we read people. It's like, oh yeah, they're in their power. That's great. And then what happens is, like, I can't charge for that because they're off and gone, and it's like I can't rely on them to ever come back again because they don't need my help.
But they are your best advert. There's your free advertising budget, right?
Well, without a doubt, it changes it. It's like completely different, and no one knows where it's coming from.
Yep.
Because our numbers aren't set up to find it. So the mastery of structure, the mastery of something, nothing, and everything. Freeing ourselves of that $100,000 project, that $100,000 pressure that we had.
Yeah.
dropping it, setting it where it was and being like, huh, what do I choose now? What do I like from that? What do I want to change? Look, I'm free to do it because I'm a powerful creator.
What do I choose when there's zero pressure?
Another one is flow. When there's flow. What do I choose when there's flow?
Correct.
Usually more of the flow. All right, wrap up your takeaways and deliver them to me. Sounded like a king. And in that, I celebrate 400 years of out from underneath of that. I mean, that's thousands of years.
Recall fixed.
If I just think of we're sitting in 2023 and I just think of years forward, that's 2000 years. It was like at least 1600 years did we, and before that, it was like the center of the universe. It was like everything orbited around it. And it's like, oh, hierarchy. Yeah. Ooh. Suppression. Yeah. Authority. Yeah. Safe. Play inside the rules, right? Structures. Yeah. Control. 400 years of just coming out from underneath of that. Wow. And where we're going. That's what I celebrate.
I'll celebrate that too. For sure. I have many more sparks of joy about what lies ahead this year than what I had at the beginning of last year. And even in the middle of last year, and by then I was recovering.
Oh, is it better?
Much better.
Yay. Ginny says her takeaway is something defines the boundaries.
Yes.
Defining the boundaries in a space for celebrating. So she celebrates releasing weight, lightness, easy, simple. One step in front of the other, huh? Honor that, Ginny. Thank you. And for all the other ones that showed up throughout the call, and Mona, Annette, they were here checking in. So great to have you. Craig, all you, Ginny, Allison, Pascal, great to be with you this afternoon.
Yes, very good for me. Thank you.
Yeah, for me, I celebrate recognizing my patterns and breaking them.
Mm.
Yeah, man,
Wow,
that word too. That word too. Mm. Yeah,
Sorry,
break
dude.
and lose, break and
And-
lose, break and
and-
lose. It's like burning them, right? It's like we might as well just burn it. Oil, right? Burn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the greatest question I've ever been asked.
Yeah, and stop myself of finding excuses. This is a big one, you know, because it's really easy to just like, oh yeah, I don't have time, you know.
Yeah.
Really easy to have my me time.
That's right.
Well, for now,
And so-
anyway.
Yeah, and then so when will you know you're complete and moved on and let go of that old pattern?
Sorry, say again?
When do you know that you've let go of that old pattern?
When do I know? When I take action.
When the room's done being painted.
Yeah.
Silly goose, go get it
That-
painted.
That too. Well, I'm doing good. Like, you know, I'm just preparing and stuff. So
Yeah, right.
I'm-
Well, it
you
takes time. Creation's, it's like, well, we imagine it, right? And then it takes time to build it up. And it's like, yes, you got to prepare.
yeah.
And you
You
can
know, yeah.
celebrate in the meantime. Because
Yeah.
you broke your pattern by moving the furniture.
Yeah, that's all moved now. So it's good. So now I'm gonna patch the holes.
Patch the holes and it's like, oh, the end result. It's like you can keep practicing with it. It's like, oh, what is the end result? And it's like, oh, it takes me there. And it's like, oh, how do I make it even better? It's like, oh, and it's like, that's what you spend that time doing. And it's like you build that whole room with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and even like I was making my breakfast this morning and I was like, how can I make it better?
Oh, what a horrible question. My God, it's like so silly. It's like, why would I ever ask that question? Because I can't, right? I'm not
Yeah,
allowed. I'm not
exactly.
good enough.
Uh-huh.
Just that is gold in itself.
Mm-hmm. That's what make my soul dance. Not calling my friend, be like, oh, do you want to sign up for internet? Do you want to sign up for like gas? Do you want to sign up for this? No, no, thanks.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they say, huh? He can stand there and say no, and then they have to look at it. It was great. I celebrate the conversation. My partner, he's like, he says, Jess, the word renewables doesn't even cover what we're talking about here.
Yes.
And I said, I know, isn't that great? And it's like, I don't know what word it is, but he's like, I don't know what word we would put there. And I said, I don't either. I don't know.
How about innovation?
I don't need to. You're right, Al. I mean, you can use any word you want, call it, but it is the structure of creation. Whatever word you want to call it.
Mm.
Structure that's easy, simple, and silly. That's the shortcut. Fun. What do you got for me?
Jesse, who started writing about structure in terms of using the concept and with our behavior?
Fritz is the only one that I know of.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say I read enough on it to know.
Yeah, I
Fritz
copy
saw
that
it.
one.
Fritz saw
I
it
copy that too.
in the art. Fritz saw it in the art part of it, and then he took the art part of it and bringing it into the business world. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I listened to an interview where he was describing about music, and the guy asked him, where did he first see this? And he said in composition.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. And then when you see it, you can see how it applies to everything.
I know. I mean, it's
And
really
so that's where the genius comes from.
absolutely. I was talking to Bruce about it, and I could see the cogs in his head going, because it's the first time after I'd listened to Fritz talking about being in composition, it was the first time that I could really language it with Bruce. And then we talked about improv.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Giggles.
that's his big love. He loves improv, and he loves guiding students with improv. See,
Mm.
and he's really good at it.
Mm.
I used to watch him years ago, like when we first got together, and then I, would go and watch.
He can,
people.
he could still teach that online,
Oh yeah, I know, Jess.
Okay.
I would watch his band members,
Mm.
and because I was going to all his concerts, and because we were together, and then you watch them from year to year, and you see them come into their own. That was amazing. And he had no clue that he was doing it. It just happened, and it wasn't until I pointed it out to him that he was holding that space. And that I found that interesting too, that it was just by joining them in what they were playing and then leaving them and then joining again. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And Fritz talks about that too, right? You don't just there's no shortcut to learning to playing the cello. You have to do it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, and the one that wins gold, there was a lot that didn't.
Mm.
Nobody talks about those.
Mm.
That's a shame.
Well, it is, because we lose out, right? Because what we think is the winner is a winner in some way, but certainly not in all ways.
Competing or collaborating.
Mm-hmm. And celebrating arriving. That's what I would call Pascal's win this morning. Breakthrough and arriving.
Yes. Anything else for me? Any questions? Anything you want to work? I'm free here for another 15 minutes or so. Everyone good? Or?
I'm checking.
Someone asked me, Jesse, someone asked me the question, is a word a structure? What's your answer?
Oh, of course.
That's how I saw it, because you define the word, create a meaning. Some words create a charge, positive, negative.
I say all do. And if you don't have a charge for it, you don't know what it means.
Thank you.
So it's charge, positive, negative, and neutral.
And here's
Okay.
Yeah, a word is a thought and an emotion, right? It comes from a feeling, because if we say everything that fundamentally we want is a feeling, if that's going to run everything, which I say that's how our automatic nervous system works, then I would say everything comes down to a feeling.
And the feeling is a vibration.
And I call it charge
Yeah.
of the energy. It's a charge of the energy.
Yeah.
So to call it something, I call it positive, negative, and neutral. And when it's something, it's nothing, and it's everything.
Mhm.
Which is why neutral works, right? Because neutral is everything.
Maybe it's nothing.
And maybe it's nothing. It all depends on which one you're looking from, right? Because it can't be the other one then.
Yeah,
I mean, the same thing is if you call it God, is it really God?
exactly.
Great question. Jenny, what did you learn?
It kind of confirmed my own noodling of the question. Um, I had another dialogue this week that made me think about how people perceive facts. The statement was made, these are the facts. It's like there's such an arrogance about that. And when I think of Joe Dispenza laying in a bed, paralyzed, and being able to realize that the doctors would have said the facts are you're never going to walk again.
Mm. Yeah.
So that somethingness, that ability to take meaning from a word and create a boundary with it, and create limits with it. A boundary can also be a limit, because those are the facts. Has me wondering about that, how we easily discount the 400 billion bits of information that are available because our perception gives us the 200,000 bits of information that we call facts. So I've been thinking about that lately.
Mm-hmm.
And you could turn that into a yes and, hey, Jenny?
Yes. And there's infinite ways of looking at one single structure of a word.
Mm-hmm.
If you allow yourself that was the other word, Jesse, that you gave us recently. You could see it that way. You could see it another way. How else could you see it? And
What
but
else?
if we
So
have that,
so do you see how those words have a structure already built into them?
mm-hmm.
Give me negative words that have a negative structure to them.
Diet. The first three letters are die.
Yeah.
Right. Can't, just a should, but, or,
Have to.
no,
Well,
have to, yep. Once we're open the door, they flow because we're like, oh yeah, those. And all we do is aware when do we say that, because it is a limitation. And we can all say in our structure that we yielded to the authority in our structures. And it's time that we take that back. Meaning like, oh, I think I have the answer here. Let me try out my answer. Let me tell the world what I think. No, they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to believe you. A few will. And then it'll get really, really clear.
And then it depends on the charge with which you tell the world things, right? Do you share it or do you insist on it? You think about the charge of a question. Often it's in the tone. So the tone can be allowing or limiting. So you can have an allowing structure or a limiting one.
Mhm.
That's
And
true.
if there's no meaning to the words, you can create a whole new area.
And you can invite from there.
Yep.
You can create a word. Someone coined the word anti-fragile. Right?
Mhm.
It's not in the dictionary.
Nor is Red Bull.
Rebel or Red Bull?
Red Bull. It's like example, it's a couple again, well, like the intentions are in there. It's like, oh, what's the intentions will matter how, like what story, what words. And what I pay attention to is what people are not valuing. Meaning they don't know what it means, which means they don't have any room to think about it, which means you can be on my team or not. Because the time that you make the connection, it's going to be way too late. You're going to be playing way behind. It's not going to be easy to catch up. Of course, assuming that it gets structured right. I don't screw up on that one.
So can I run something that I'm just thinking about now? So if you have negative charge, it's pretty easy, I think, to recognize that there's an attachment in the unconscious with a negative charge. It's more difficult when there's a positive charge to be able to discern whether that's coming from an aligned space or whether it's coming from another unconscious charge. And somehow for me, that feels important. In myself, obviously, for me to be able to discern that.
Do you have an example with a word or words?
Here's what it's a. Can they take the next action?
Yeah, but if I take the action and it's not aligned, I'm going to waste a bit of time.
Yeah,
Which
but
is fine,
you
but-
can't sit and wait. You can't sit and wait for the right action either. So it's the you got to do it is the thing.
Okay. So you take the action and you take the consequences
Feedback.
of the action, and then you.
Yeah, that's feedback.
Okay.
You know, I mean, if it has to be a consequence, then you're orienting that it's going to be a consequence, which most people orient that a consequence is going to be negative. So you're already setting up a structure that's going to anticipate a negative.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
That is what a conflict, that is what fight does, that is what arguing does, that's what judging does. All of those, they're just unresolvable patterns.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
What resonated with me is like the quickest, oh, I kind of lost it. The fastest you resist failure, the quickest that you'll be more powerful. Yeah, I lost it.
I think I get a sense of where you're
You know,
going.
so the fastest you're gonna stop resisting. Yeah, you're gonna stop resisting failure. The quickest you'll be in power, or the quickest
Yes.
you're winning. You'll be
Yes.
winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to risk failure,
Exactly,
you
Jenny.
can create quicker. Would that be?
Yeah,
you're trying
yeah,
to say, or
exactly. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. I was just trying to understand what you're doing.
No, I like that. You know, it's my thinking brain that like was trying to make it perfect, and that's why I come out like this, right? But if I would tune in to my heart, then it would just come out like just perfect, you know, as it is. So I kind of doubt it, I think. And when you were talking about diet, that's an interesting word for me, because for me, diet is a shortcut. So you're taking shortcut instead of listening what your body wants. You're just taking the information out there that a diet would be sufficient for you. And why diet not working for most people, it's because they're not meant for their body.
I hear the word differently now, Pascal. Like in today's society, diet is like Atkins or whatever, keto. It's a way of looking at food as a problem-solving entity. But every creature has a natural diet. And so the word itself has been kind of adulterated to mean something that's not natural, but we all have a natural diet. You know, humans have a natural diet, carnivores have a natural diet, certain animals have certain diet, the pandas eat eucalyptus or whatever. So the physical body for that animal historically adapted to eat certain things. But we have a diet industry that preys literally on people eating food for fuel and creating perhaps edits to how we would normally eat, but also the food industry is adulterated food to create non-foods that they create. I don't know the right word, but they market it as if it's food. And then there's certain things that the human body craves, and they know that, and they put that combination in so that people don't really get nutrition, but they get that craving met, and then they're wanting more because they're not meeting their nutritional needs. So that's my understanding of the word diet now that I didn't understand before, that there's a natural diet and there's also some adulteration that's happened with our food sources that create false cravings for things we don't really in the real world would consider food, but it's presented as if it's food. So that's just my perspective on it.
Yeah, no, that's really good. The other thing I would add is like, yeah, you can look at like, okay, we're mammal, we should be eating certain food depending on our teeth, right? That tells us a lot. But in the same time, like, you got to think like where you live as well, right? If you look at your ancestor, so would they be eating like, when you're up north, would they eat like oranges and grapefruit and all these tropical fruit? And so they wouldn't, right? We have the leisure of eating these things, but do we think they're good for us? I don't know, right? It's just it's a really interesting one. And then the other thing is like a diet for my wife, that is, she's Korean. Her diet is plenty of rice and kimchi and all this the Korean that she's been eating for years. While I try her diet, well, that doesn't work for me.
Interesting.
Right. And it's not because like she's not eating good or bad. It's just the food that she's eating. I never grew up with that stuff. And my parents never grew up with that stuff. My grandparents never grew up with that stuff. So that's why for me, like a diet, say like you can say keto or anything like that, it's not a black or white.
No, I agree with you.
It has to be very like taper for your body.
Exactly. And so what I've learned is that we have something called intuition. And so we can eat intuitively what works for us as an individual. And so the idea that one size fits all is kind of silly.
Yeah.
But there's also some natural things that you brought up, that in our natural state, in our natural habitat, we ate in seasons. There would be a winter season where you wouldn't have access to certain things, but now with trucks and shipping and refrigeration, we can have things year round, and it's useful to eat seasonally in a sense. So that's all new awareness for me in the last 90 days. And there's a lot of confusion around food and nutrition. And so certain people find that when they eat certain things, they get a certain reaction. So listening to your own body is useful in that regard.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get on a big long rant about it.
No, exactly. But yeah, same thing with like calories, right? To me, calories it's just information, but it's not the truth. Right?
Exactly. And yeah, the whole premise that you eat less and exercise more is actually backwards.
Yeah.
the calorie is a measurement, just as money is a measurement and a kilogram is a measurement. So it doesn't really serve us, but it's just a measurement. So it's a measurement of energy in a sense. But anyway, that's interesting. We could go on for a while, and I don't want to belabor the point, but I find it interesting that word creates quite a bit of charge different ways for different people.
Oh, for sure. And we always say like, oh, my diet is the best. At the end of the day, Jenny, my diet is the best. So you should follow me.
Exactly. And then you're back to that word should. You should on me and I should on you. And what have we accomplished?
Yeah, exactly.
We've just created a wall
Mm-hmm.
and a border that's not needed.
Right.
But anyway, thank you for your insights.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
And I won't force you to eat kimchi.
No, I love kimchi though. Kimchi, I think it's fine. Yeah, no, I love kimchi. Holy. Yeah, no, they're like the food is really good. Like that's not the issue. But if I eat rice every day, that just doesn't agree with me. I grew up like eating potatoes every day. And that works, right? But if she eats potatoes, that doesn't work for her. So, so someday we eat rice, someday we eat potatoes.
Would that be French fries?
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Poutine?
Yeah, poutine, yeah.
That's an excuse for a potato right there.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion.
Hey, healthy. Keep your judgments to yourself, healthy.
Hey, I'm just calling it a container, Jesse, that holds grease. Okay, that's all I'm calling it.
And I like to slather mine in ketchup and chow it down.
And that's a fact. It's an excuse. That's a fact. That's my fact, and you better believe it.
So you guys were talking about money, and you were saying that it's a measurement in the same way that calories are a measurement. Am I correct?
I've heard that.
Okay.
Yes.
So then my question, and this really is a question because I'm still not managing to get this, is, so would nutrition then be the currency?
I see nutrition as fuel. And if you were looking at your body as an elegant vehicle to get around, you could choose to put the slathered ketchup smothered grease sticks in your tank. And you have that choice, Mr. Jesse. And that will have some consequences as the years go on. And Wendy's versus McDonald's.
I'll take theirs in a pinch.
Why not Burger King?
All these dark secrets coming out.
Won't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole.
Oh God.
So going back to, give me your thought that nutrition is currency or calorie.
Could it be? Yeah, could it be? Because the calories can also be fuel. Hey, Jenny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so there
I
is a
bet-
distinction on value in one way. So like, would you get the same momentum from fueling your body with broccoli or kale that you would from ketchup smothered grease sticks? Would your engine run cleaner with one fuel versus the other fuel?
Yes. Okay. So, but then, I'm still struggling with the difference between currency and money. I don't get it. I get it. in
Well,
some
you'd have to
ways.
you have to give me your definition of those words,
I
because
don't. I don't-
currency is an exchange of value as money is, right? In my opinion. But I also see currency as a flow.
Yes.
That's weird. Huh. My, oh, okay. My screen just went off on my car, and I was like, it just went blank. That
Whoa.
was weird. I'm parked, but it was just odd. But it came back on, so we're good. So I see currency as movement, the flow of value or money. But
Yes.
you could see it a dollar bill as currency. So I
Isn't
think
that-
that's how
isn't-
you define the word.
Mm.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that's a good one from currency. Currency is the dollar bills. It is the change. It is the coins. It is the pieces that we transact, we barter, we move back and forth with each other. It made bartering easy.
Yes.
So you wouldn't have to say, Jesse, give me one of your sheep and I'll go bring you a basket full of chickens. It just made things simpler. And
Yeah.
I think in Dixie's January recode about money, she was talking about in some cultures they used roses or something to exchange value. But the attachment we have to that particular energy or whatever that we give to that measurement is what's tripping people up. We say we value ourselves by how much money we have in the bank, and then we've kind of screwed up the currency. But taking it back to what you were talking about with nutrition in the body, I don't know if I can see it directly correlating, except that when the reason I brought that up is Eric in the WildFit program was talking about the diet industry keeps pushing this concept of calories. And so the calories you get from a bowl of broccoli and the calories you get from a bowl of French fries is not the same. It doesn't fuel you the same way. So, they're like, oh, you can eat this 100-calorie pack of processed crap and you can eat 100 calories worth of broccoli and you're not going to have the same result. So you can't make a calorie equal.
So in the same way, then you can't make the dollar equal to, for instance, the pound or the Canadian dollar or the euro, or so all the different countries.
Well, you can by a conversion rate, you can give it a percentage based on the current equation.
And then work with it here is if you had a US currency and you're in Russia, let's say, it's like you're not going to have, it would almost be like you didn't have currency.
At the moment, because it's not accepted internationally.
That's right. And so in that, it's like you could have the currency, but it's like the boundaries could say we don't take that currency here. And so in all reality, you don't have currency.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
And
it's
it's
even
like then
true
if you need to eat, then you got to go make money, right? Money, go make offers, go do something, take an action so that someone will give you food in return.
Yes.
And there's a way of exchanging value without exchanging money by bartering and those kinds of things, which is
I'm building I'm building a $1 trillion company on the premise. Yes.
that we exchange skills
Yes.
with each other, and therefore there's no money exchange. That's one way.
Passion.
But also, okay, so
Passion is exchanged.
So then I enjoy the exchange of currency. I have no problem with that, but I really have an obvious block to money. I hate dealing with it. I can't stand all the admin.
Yeah. Well, because you've lumped the currency into money, and you for yourself can't separate the two yet because you don't have anything that says, oh, money is just help.
money is what?
Money is just a measurement of help.
H-E-L-P?
H-E-L-P, help, money, help. It's offers, it's transactions, it's help. If you need money, you call up your friend and say, I need help. That is money in the bank.
Oh, okay. All right. So I was hearing health also, H-E-A-L-T-H.
Help.
Money
Help.
is health. Okay, help.
But it can be. I mean, money, health is for sure money. I mean, it is health is number one accumulation of money.
Yes.
So this is interesting because Ken Honda wrote a book about happy money, which I haven't finished reading, but been listening to. And the idea is, Allison, we probably share this as well. We have coded in some deep-seated beliefs about money from perhaps unconsciously and connected it to value, and we can separate them because our society places monetary value on things, but yet what's really more valuable than money in the bank is that passion that Jesse was talking about, or that help that we provide, like you did for this woman who had this significant breakup.
Mhm.
And yet there was a value to that beyond money, right? So
Beyond currency. It was money. It was a transaction, but it was beyond the currency because no currency took place.
well, I don't know that. I mean, it could,
Yeah,
that's why I didn't
right.
know if she paid for the service, whatever fee per hour, whatever that was an
clarification.
exchange. And I'm not asking you to divulge that. That's not my point. But my point is, whether money was exchanged or not, there was value beyond even the exchange of money, is what I was trying to illustrate.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out is.
So you're caught up in the old structure of the currency being Canadian dollars, US dollars, whatever it is. And there's administrative tasks that you associate with it that are a pain in the arse. And so therefore there's negative energy around that admin that is connected to money or currency. That
Money's just bad. Money's bad. That's exactly it. Money's bad is her pattern.
I thought I'd left that behind. Like
no, you always have it.
Money's, I don't know if it's money's bad or money sucks. But it's your word, Allison. Which one is it?
I guess at the moment,
just give her a 3 chair at some point.
I've done it, Jesse. I've done it. I've done it 3 chair.
You're right. There's no need to be open for
it. Sorry. I think it's tied up more with the task of having to take care of it than the thing itself. Because the thing itself, I'm very clear about that it is needed. and it's needed for many things. I'm
Hmm,
very,
can-
very clear about that.
Can you use it?
Yes, absolutely.
Then
100%.
can you allow it? Can it be you?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. Thank you.
Think of it as money's using you.
I don't know if it's from these calls, but I heard like money is the resistance.
It's definitely one of those that are automatically charged. It carries a negative charge in society. Not everyone's attracting it, right?
But we're the one that's putting value to it.
You're putting something to it whenever it's said. You could put
Because
value
putting
to it. You
meaning
could
to
put a
it.
fear to it. Yeah, you could put some charge to it. You could be attracted.
Some
You
kind
could
of
be like,
meaning.
yes, I could use it, or no, I can't. It's one of those two.
So if we go back to value exchange, and Jesse, you said something about passion and help. And I was bringing up barter. You could exchange your skill in one area for someone else's skill in another area and not use pounds, dollars as a vehicle, just truly service for service. And
Genius for genius, you bet.
and so there's a trend toward, I don't know, I don't understand it all, cryptocurrency, electronic currency, and easily, and then now it's in the conspiracy theory stuff, governments could seize what you've accumulated, take retirement accounts and funds in the bank. So then I go back to Viktor Frankl. What they can't take is your genius, your consciousness, your awareness, and your skill in creating. No one can seize that.
Well,
So that's
yeah.
that's a new economy if you think of it that way. Not new, but a new awareness of an economy that already exists.
A new structure that could have a new focus.
Yeah, so it's in a way it's being off the grid with electricity, but monetarily. Like it's an analogy or a metaphor.
Yeah, because if you ask a millionaire or a billionaire, okay, tomorrow I'm going to give you more money, but I'm going to wipe out all the knowledge in your brain. Or you're going to be broke tomorrow, but you're keeping all your knowledge. What's worth more?
That would depend on the billionaire that you're asking.
Yeah. But
There's
here's
no
the
charge in
interesting.
that answer. There was no charge in that answer at all.
So I hear the word knowledge, Pascal, and that doesn't always indicate value to me because knowledge, book knowledge from college didn't do me a whole lot of good. I have an MBA, but I learned theory, but my knowingness comes from experience. So you can go to a program and get knowledge, but it's the application of it that makes the difference.
No, you go to an application and you get information. You don't get knowledge from
Okay, so information
Okay.
and knowledge are different.
Okay, I should have formulated maybe a little bit different. If you remove all your experiences.
nice. Nice one.
So I'll give you, if say like you got $1 million, I'll give you another $1 million. But I'll wipe all your experiences. Or you keep all your experiences and you'll be broke tomorrow.
Financially.
Give me the two. Give me the two.
The two. Oh, so you're doing
Hey, what?
a yes and?
You choose number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I think most people would. Because if
What
you've
does
done
that say
it
about
once,
me
you
or
know how to do it
you?
twice. Sorry? If you know how to do once, you know how to do it twice. Right? It's like if you know how to get one client, you're able to get like 100 or 1,000.
Exactly. Money takes a long time to build, as does experience, and no time to lose. But experience, you don't lose.
That's right. So I'd take a $2 million head start. I mean, why would I want to start at zero?
But you're not given that option, Jesse.
But I was. You gave me that option.
No.
Yes.
Yep. No, the option is if you get the 2 million, you've got none of your experience or knowledge left.
Yeah. Which means I'm going to go create new ones.
Okay.
And I have $2 million to go create. It's like, where did we get disconnected?
Because you're presuming that you're still going to know how to create.
Well, what do you think I'm going to pick up? Am I a vegetable at the end of this thing? I mean, like, why would we even imagine that? Is that really going to happen? First of all, no. But it's like, if we're going to play make-believe, let's play make-believe.
You win.
Well, and also just to notice is like, I gave you an answer you weren't expecting.
Yeah, but how long did it take you to learn this structure?
I poke fun at it all the time.
No, but did you notice the structure of creating when you were 10 years old?
No, I didn't recognize it then, but by 4, I knew it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then about that time, we were all confirmed that we could no longer do that, and we're still confused today why we can't.
Yeah.
Then it will start. It will. I guess it will take you 4 years to create.
I did 3.5. I did 3.5. And I think you guys are quicker. So you tell me how long it takes you, and then I'll be able to say, yep, I'm pretty sure it's going to be quicker.
And we're still learning,
That too, of course.
always.
Unless I'm a vegetable, right? Poking fun at earlier.
Mhm.
See, patterns are fun,
Yeah.
especially when we make them personal. It's so much fun.
We can play with them for sure. I already had my first celebration, like of painting this room. And I listened to my body and I was like, I want to go eat like a pear. So it's a win-win. I make it fun.
There's the formula right there.
Making it fun.
That's the formula. Yep.
That's what I call honoring life.
I can wonder that. All right, guys. Well, that was a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody.
Mhm.
It was great
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank you
Yeah.
all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Sarah.
really enjoyed where that went.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Happy
Thanks
Friday.
for sharing us. Yeah, thanks for sharing the room with us.
We
Are
create
you
Oh,
telling
okay.
us to go to our room? Now go to your room.
That's right. Punished.
Yeah.
It's time
Make it
for
fun.
punishment.
I know. Go in your thoughts, right? Go in your thoughts.
No, I think he's talking about the puns or punishment.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Have a
Bye,
great one.
guys.
Bye,